Here we have a 2003 Ford Focus. I am going to be installing the alternator back into the vehicle. I have already removed the battery as well as moved this water reservoir out of the way so that I may be able to access the pulley system when I am attaching the serpentine belt back onto this. I also have the fan dropped. If you've seen my first video, you will see that I had to drop the fan in order to remove the alternator from the top of the vehicle. So I'm ready to put the alternator in, and the easiest way to put the alternator in is with the pulley on the left hand side so that you don't have to turn it when it gets back into that tight area. Okay, so see, it goes right back down. So now this is where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and put this bolt and that bolt back in. I'm just going to hand tighten it so that the alternator is able to sit properly, and then I will tighten everything back up. I'm going to be using a 13mm socket to tighten them up. Now I got those two tightened up there. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be attaching the sensor. I'm right here, so I'm just gonna connect that. Okay, and there is a nut here. I should have took it off already, but there is a nut here that is what grounds the alternator to the battery. The cable's hanging right now. I'm gonna grab it so you can see it. So when I removed the alternator, I unclipped the fan. And like I said, you can watch the other video on how to remove the alternator. And you will see it is just held on by 4 clips. And that is it. So now I am going to be attaching the ground connection, the cable. I am going to grab it from the bottom, but I'm going to tighten it from the top. I am going to hand tighten it while I'm down here, but then I will be ensuring that this connection is secure with a 10mm socket. You want to make sure that this connection is really tight, because this is what causes alternators to fail, is a bad ground. So you want to ensure that that connection of metal to metal is intact. Now I will be putting in the final bolt on the bottom of the alternator. So now I'm going to be installing this last bolt, and if you see the head, it has a long stem on it, so you will need a elongated 5/8 bit so that it can go over and have a proper connection as far as being able to go back into the vehicle. So I'm underneath the alternator, and this is where you put the last one. And once again, I'm going to hand tighten it a little bit before I put my 5/8 socket. Okay, so now we have a tight connection. So now I am going to be releasing the tension off of the belt so that I'm able to place the belt around the alternator. This is a bar that I have that I made so that I can have more leverage. And that is a 13 millimeter that is attached to the bolt. I'm going to release because the belt is now on. And this is just a 13 millimeter wrench that was on that bolt. Now I'll be putting this back, and all you do is clip it on to that clip, as well as putting this bolt back. Final step is to put the battery back in. Alright, everything is put back together. Battery is back. So now we're going to start her up. There we have it. Alternator is good. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helps.